Hello everybody and welcome to the Florida Physique Report, episode number 25. I'm your host John Hansen and we are broadcasting live from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, Florida. Alright, it's been a couple weeks since we've had a Florida Physique Report. I wanted to get a few more Arnold Classic previews from some of the Florida athletes, but you know how it is when you're competing in a contest. Everybody just wants to focus on their training and their diet, so it was a little difficult to get some of the competitors to do some interviews in the weeks leading up to the Arnold. But the Arnold is now history. That took place last weekend. Candice Keene, who is from the Florida area, she was the two-time reigning Arnold champ, took third place. Janet Layug was in third place in the bikini, so she did really well. And then Dexter Jackson, of course, from Jacksonville, Florida, was the five-time Arnold Classic champ. Dexter set a record in winning the Arnold, beating out Flex Wheeler's record of 4 wins. Dexter was tied with Flex going into this contest, and at 45 years old, he did the unbelievable, and he won 5 times. So congratulations to Dexter Jackson. And I also want to mention my friend Jose Raymond, who won the 212 division after placing a really disappointing, I believe he was 6th or 5th last year, but he had a real strong finish at the Olympia this year, taking 3rd place. And he came in and he beat Eduardo Correa and all the other competitors in the 212 division to win that contest, I thought, pretty easily. And Jose is going to be my guest poser at the NPC Natural Suncoast on May 30th. If you guys want more information on that, go to npcnaturalsuncoast.com and you can get your entry forms and sign up. We're going to have a great show. We got, of course, Jose Raymond as our featured guest poser. And we're also going to have Santiago Aragon, the new pro from Florida who won the welterweight division at the Nationals last year. So it's going to be a great show. And we got a Lifetime Achievement Award going out to Annabelle Lopez, who is a former pro Mr. America. Annabelle competed at the very top levels in the WBBG, the AAU, the NABA Mr. Universe, and he never used steroids. So this being a natural contest, we usually give out a Natural Bodybuilding Lifetime Achievement Award every year, and this year it's going out to Annabelle Lopez. I also want to mention our really popular Bodybuilding Legends show. If you guys haven't checked that out, please check it out. It's right here on the FloridaPhysique.com website. Every week we have an interview with one of the legends in the sport of bodybuilding. Bodybuilders who competed from the 1970s, the 1980s, or the 1990s. We've had some great interviews on so far with Chris Cormier, Bill Grant, Mike Katz, Rich Gaspari. We just did an interview last week with Chris Dickerson, 1982 Mr. Olympia, and this week on FloridaPhysique.com you can see the Bodybuilding Legends show featuring an interview with 1983 Mr. Olympia, Samir Bannout. And next week we've got a 2-part interview coming up with Boyer Coe. So every week the interviews just keep getting better and better. I hope you guys are checking those out. If you're new to the sport and you don't know a lot about the history of the sport, you really want to check this out. And if you've been around for a while like I have, you're really going to love these interviews where you get to talk to some of the legends of bodybuilding who I grew up reading about. So I'm having a great time doing this show. All right, well, we are now in the month of March, and this weekend starts the contest season for the NPC Florida area. So this weekend on March 14th, we've got our first show coming up. It's called the Renegade Classic and the Tallahassee and Southern Collegiate, and it's going to be out in Tallahassee, Florida. Our good friend Tim Gardner is promoting the show along with Mike McKinney, and it's the first-time event. This is the first time they've ever held this contest. We will be covering that contest. I got my friend Dan Esslinger from D4 Muscle. Dan has been, he's a great contest prep coach, and he's been bringing a lot of his girls in to do videos, training videos for FloridaPhysique.com, and Dan will be at the contest. I believe he's going to be prepping some of his athletes at that contest, and he will be there, and he's going to cover the show for us. So next Monday, March 16th, we will have our next Florida Physique Report show, and we will have Dan on as a guest, and he's going to be talking about the Renegade Classic. He's going to give a full report of that show. The following week, on March 21st, they have the NPC National Wheelchair Sunshine State Bodybuilding and CJ Classic. And Mr. Olympia and Arnold Classic champ Dexter Jackson is going to be the guest poser at that show. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. That's going to take place in West Palm Beach, Florida. Tony Candelas, who is our southern correspondent for FloridaPhysique.com, is going to be there, and he's going to cover the show for us. So again, the following Monday after that contest, we will have a contest report on that show. And then the last weekend in March, which is March 28th, they're going to have the IFBB Pro Bikini and Men's Physique Battle on the Beach and an NPC Southern USA, which is a national qualifier, and that's going to take place in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I believe Mike Matassa, who is going to be helping us out this year at FloridaPhysique.com, I think Mike is going to be at that competition, and he and his wife Bernadette are going to be covering that show for us. So we got 3 exciting shows coming up in the Florida area in the month of March. We got a new one, the Renegade Classic, and then we've got a national wheelchair competition along with the CJ Classic and the Sunshine State the following week on the 21st. And then on the last week of the month, March 28th, we got IFBB Pro Show, Pro Bikini and Pro Men's Physique, along with the NPC Southern USA. So we got 3 great shows to start off the contest season. So now that the contest season is started, I want to give a sort of a schedule for FloridaPhysique.com. Every Monday following the weekend's competitions, we will have the Florida Physique Report, and we will have reports of the competitions that took place on Saturday. So look for the Florida Physique Report every Monday night on FloridaPhysique.com. Every Tuesday, we have, of course, Training Day Tuesday. So that's our training videos of all the NPC competitors in the Florida area who are training for competitions. It doesn't matter if you're in contest prep mode or if you're in the off season. I don't care if you're in women's physique, men's physique, bodybuilding, figure, fitness, doesn't matter, bikini. Come on down to the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, make an appointment with me, and we will shoot a training video of you as you get ready for your competition for FloridaPhysique.com. That's every Tuesday, Training Day Tuesday. And then we will have the Bodybuilding Legends Show will continue, even though it's a contest season. We're going to continue that. That should be up every Thursday. So look for a new Bodybuilding Legends Show every Thursday. So that's our new schedule. Florida Physique Report on Monday, Training Day Tuesday on Tuesday, and then the Bodybuilding Legends Show will be up every Thursday. So that's the schedule. You can follow along with the FloridaPhysique.com as we go into another very busy contest schedule for 2015. Our guest this week is IFBB women's physique competitor Tycie Coppett. Tycie just took 3rd place at the Arnold Classic last weekend. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia, but she's originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so she officially makes it into the FloridaPhysique.com website. Tycie is having a great pro career. She took 2nd place in the inaugural Olympia Women's Physique, and then last year she took 3rd place behind the winner Juliana Melicarne and 2nd place winner Dana Lynn Bailey, and she was also in the same order. Juliana won the Arnold, Dana Lynn Bailey was 2nd, and Tycie took 3rd place in that. So we're going to talk to Tycie about her career, a little bit about her training and her diet, and about her recent high placings at the Olympia and the Arnold. Tycie's sort of a dark horse. She's not a big name like Juliana or Dana Lynn Bailey, but she's doing really, really well because of the strength of her physique. So let's hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to have our interview with Tycie Coppett. We'll be right back with the Florida Physique Report.
Be sure to check out NFE, No Freaking Excuses, all natural warrior supplements, offering pure isolate, whey protein, essential multivitamins, thermogenic fat burners, all available at NFE.com and Southern Muscle in Brandon, Florida.
All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and my special guest today is Tycie Coppett, who just took third place at the Arnold Classic in the women's physique division. How you doing, Tycie?
I'm great, John. Thank you for having me today.
So you're joining us from Georgia, from Atlanta, Georgia, correct?
From Atlanta, Georgia, where the temperature is almost 70 degrees, so it's great.
Wow, it's like 90 out here today. Well, you're on the Florida Physique Report, but you are originally from Florida, right? You're from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Originally from Fort Lauderdale, absolutely. I'm not a Georgia peach. Love my heritage in Fort Lauderdale, so yes, originally from Florida.
All right, that's great. That ties in perfect with the Florida Physique Report.
Awesome.
Well, congratulations on your placing at the Arnold Classic. How did you feel about the show? That was the first time that the Arnold Classic introduced women's physique.
You know what? It was an amazing experience. To be able to make history at the Olympia, then again at the Arnold, truly was an unbelievable journey. And to be able to share that journey again with the women from the Olympia at the Arnold Classic was amazing. So it was our first time there. The fans were great. The venue was awesome. The hospitality was great.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better opportunity, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, all the competitors who compete in the Arnold, whatever division it is, they all say the same thing. They said just a first-class event, and the promoters,
Amazing.
Jim Mortimer and Arnold, just really treat the athletes great.
Amazing, absolutely. I concur 110%.
Now, did you get a chance to go to that wild expo over the weekend, that crazy expo?
I did. The wonderful thing is that we competed on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Prelims and finals all on Friday. So I was able to really enjoy the expo, the fans on Saturday and Sunday. So it was a great weekend.
Yeah, they didn't even have they didn't separate it, right, from prejudging and night show. It was just all one, right?
They did not. And that was a first, actually. So prelims and finals just really ran together. It was the first time, but it was really a great opportunity for us to get out in the expo and to really experience the Arnold Classic in its totality. So I'm grateful.
Yeah. Now you were in both of the women's physique divisions at the Olympia. You were in the first one in 2013, and then you were in last year's at 2014, correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So you're right at the forefront of all these history-making events.
I'm trying. Trying my best.
So, how did you do in your very first women's physique Olympia?
The very first women's physique Olympia, I actually placed second to Dana Lynn Bailey. So, yep. And then last year I placed third. Juliana placed first, and Dana Lynn Bailey second, and I placed third. And so it was really a repeat at the Arnold Classic. Juliana first, Dana second, and me third.
Wow, that's great.
We're a trilogy.
So let me take you back to that first one. How did that feel at that first women's Olympia? No, not women's Olympia. How did that feel at the very first women's physique Olympia? Because I remember that year everybody was talking about who's going to place where, what look are they going to go with, and there were a lot of big names that people were tossing around, Juliana being one of them. And you beat all of them except for Dana Lynn Bailey.
Right. Again, the look was evolving, so none of us really knew what exactly they were looking for. So I take the pressure off of myself because I train myself, and I just trust the journey and trust the process, and just kind of felt that at the end of the journey I would be where I was supposed to be in terms of my physique. And so I was grateful that it was one of the physiques that they rewarded. It was really a euphoric experience. It was really like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
It's like, you're living your dream. You're there, but you're not there. And so once everything kind of calmed down, I really had to take a look and say, wow, did that just happen? Did I really just place second? And even now, I'm still in amazement. I really am. So
yeah,
it's like living your dream.
Well, I've heard a lot of critics of the sport, and they always rave about your physique because you have that structure and that the judges should be looking for, and that should be the ideal in women's physique. So that had to feel great though that the judges did go just with the physique and they didn't go with the names, in that very first Olympia.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I was, the thing about women's physique is that everyone's body is very different. The structure is different, the musculature is different, the roundness, the leanness, so you're coming with a complete gamut of physiques.
Yeah.
Even now, everyone's physique is still a little bit different. Between Juliana, myself, and Dana Lynn Bailey, we still have very different physiques.
Yeah. So Tycie, sort of critique Juliana's physique and then Dana Lynn Bailey, compared to your physique. What do you think their strengths and weaknesses are compared to yours?
I'm tall. I am very, very tall. Juliana has an incredible physique. Not only that, she has incredible structure, incredible flow, incredible muscle bellies, incredible stage presence. She's beautiful. So she really has the total package in terms of women's physique. Dana Lynn Bailey, she has incredible stage presence. She has great muscular development. And then, with myself, I'm a lot taller than them, and I would hope that I have a good balance between muscle and muscle flow as well. So I think in terms of musculature, I think in development and roundness, I think we are pretty much all neck and neck. It's very different, though, to look at a physique that's almost a foot taller, than someone else. But I think they have incredible physiques, and they are truly champions in their right state.
And one thing that's surprising that a lot of people are starting to realize is that Juliana, who looks so great by herself with her great structure and everything, is really not very big or very tall compared to a lot of the girls. And I saw some of the pictures over the weekend. I wasn't there, but some of the pictures over the weekend, she's very short compared to someone like yourself or Dana Lynn Bailey.
Right. And, that's the thing is when we're seeing progress photos online through social media, everyone looks very different by themselves. And so it's very important to stay focused because you really don't know how you match up and how you look until you stand next to them on stage. Yeah.
Do you think that Juliana sort of has the ideal physique for women's physique?
Absolutely. She's the reigning Miss Olympia. She's now crowned the first Arnold Classic women's physique champion. So absolutely, she's doing something right, and I have to applaud her for all of her accomplishments.
Okay. What do you think you need to do with your physique in order to match up or beat her in the future?
Yeah, that's a question I continue to ask myself. I don't really want to get bigger.
Yeah.
Do I need to come in leaner? Do I need to come in tighter? So I ask myself that question, after the Olympia, of course, and after the Arnold Classic. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm very pleased with my physique, the flow, the muscle development, and I'm just going to keep showing up, and wait my turn.
So the structure part of it is really big, you think, in women's physique?
Absolutely, as it should be in bodybuilding, period. I think structure plays a big role in bodybuilding. I
agree with you. And then what Arnold was saying about the judging at the seminar on Sunday, I think that hit home with a lot of people because he brought home that, it should be about your structure, your shape, your symmetry. It's not just about who's the biggest guy. He was talking about bodybuilding, of course. But I think the same thing applies with women's physique. It really is about structure. It's about those wide shoulders, small waist and hips, and then the flowing legs, especially with women's. If they're trying to develop a category that's going to sort of take over from women's bodybuilding and just have that those ideals as the basis of it.
I agree, and not only take over bodybuilding, but we still have to make that clear delineation between women's physique and bodybuilding, because women's physique is not bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So there still needs to be that clear delineation, and I think they've done a good job with not going, for big, but really looking at the flow of the muscle and the stature and just the complete package.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your career, Tycie. How did you get involved in competing? What was your first show?
Oh my goodness, what was my first show? My first show was probably in 2000. Wow. I've been an athlete all my life. I ran track at the University of Georgia many, many moons ago. Okay. So I'm an athlete at heart. When I graduated, I wanted to still, compete in some form because I missed that element. And if I had to guess, I would say it was probably in 2000 when I did my first show. It was a bodybuilding show. And I've just always been in the gym. I love lifting weights. I love the way my body responds to weights. And I decided to try a bodybuilding show. And I did it. And I actually placed second, believe it or not. Got the feedback from the judges, and they said that I needed to be bigger because I'm so tall.
Yeah.
So in order to create the illusion, I would need to be bigger. And at that time, I didn't want to be that big. So I just kept in the gym, kept working out. Then they create a figure, and I said, that's the division for me. So I transitioned into figure, did very well. Came off and on for a couple of years. When I came back in 2010, I did very well again and did Team Universe, and was one place away from getting my pro card, and they said I was still too muscular, and I had to make the decision, you know, should I come down even more, or should I make the transition into women's physique, which was brand new at the time.
Yeah.
So I made the transition in 2011 at Nationals in Miami and placed second, and that's where I earned my pro card in women's physique, and I've never looked back. Women's physique is my home, and I'm here to stay.
So how do you like the posing aspect of women's physique compared to figure?
Oh my gosh, that's the part that stresses me out.
Oh, really?
And you know why it stresses me out? Because I'm not a dancer. I'm not a gymnast. You know, I can't do backflips. I can't do splits. I can't do all of these crazy things. So I have to create a routine that works for my body, that works for the flow, you know, of my muscles. And so I don't stress over the diet. I don't stress over the training. But when it comes to the posing routine, my goodness, I have to work at that. But, you know, I love the fact that it gives us an opportunity to showcase, you know, our personality.
Right.
You know, with figure, we did quarter turns, but with women's physique, we have an opportunity to be on stage a little bit longer and to have some fun with the crowd and to, you know, really show who we are. So, you know, I love it. I love my time on stage when I am performing. It's just leading up to that and getting the routine together. So my sister helps me. She's the dancer.
Oh, okay.
So she helps me put it together.
Oh, that's good. It's because you got help from the dancer in the family.
Yes, she's the creative one, the creative mind. Yes.
Do you think that's getting better now that you're working at it, you've done so many bigger shows?
I think my posing is getting better. Yes, yeah. I'm understanding my angles better and how to showcase my body better. Okay. Absolutely. One day I'm going to surprise everyone and I'm going to do a back handspring.
All right. You heard it here first. So tell us a little bit about your training and your diet in preparation for these shows, because you're competing at the highest level and you're doing very, very well. Taking runner-up at the Women's Physique Olympia and placing in the top 3 at the last Olympia and this Arnold Classic. So what is it like when you plan to compete in a show as far as your training and diet?
You know, my training and diet, I really don't venture very far off in the off-season. In terms of my weight, I try to keep my weight within about 7 to 8 pounds. That's just where my body naturally falls. I have a very, very high metabolism, which I'm very grateful for. Yeah. So when I am dieting for a show, I actually have to eat considerably more than when I am not dieting for a show, because of course I'm doing a lot of cardio. So, you know, I eat a lot of protein. I have like 22-ounce steaks and, you know, yeah, I eat a lot. I really do. But I have to, in order to maintain my weight. The diet is, you know, very much consistent with a bodybuilder's diet, the oatmeal, the egg whites. Yeah. I do have a cheat meal every week, you know, which again, some people agree with cheat meals, some people do not. But I do have a cheat meal every week. Okay. Up until maybe about 6 weeks. 6 weeks, 6 to 4 weeks. It just depends on how my body looks and how I'm responding. Okay. My training is pretty consistent all year round. I try to lift, you know, as heavy as possible as I'm preparing for a show. In the off season, I like to give my body a break, so I won't lift as heavy, medium weight, medium reps. But as I'm leading up to a show, I definitely lift heavier, lift harder as I'm prepping for a show. So I prep myself. You know, people ask me, how do I do it? And really it's all intuitive. You know, I don't go in and I don't write anything down. I don't measure my food, you know, and I know all of this is very kind of taboo in bodybuilding, because bodybuilding is scientific. Yeah. You know, but it works for me, you know, it works for me. And I've been very blessed and fortunate that it has worked and that I've been able to compete at the highest level.
Now, there's certain body parts that you're really focusing on bringing up. I mean, your delts are looking amazing here, and
Oh,
from what I'm looking at here.
thank you. Yeah, you know, I'm still trying to bring up my legs a little bit more, but you know, I haven't been told by the judges that I needed to bring my legs up a little bit more. That's just me critiquing myself.
Yeah.
I still have to be very careful, I believe, because I am very muscular. And so, you know, the more muscle I put on, then the more that I will look like a bodybuilder, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't want to take away from the flow, you know, of my muscle. So my goal is always to create the V taper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keep my delts wide, keep my waist small, and bring out the flare in my quads.
So what kind of training are you doing then? I mean, obviously you're doing weight training and stuff, but is it heavy training? Is it more for shape? How do you do that for women's physique?
Yep. So for women's physique, it is for shape. So for my legs, you know, I definitely lift for shape. I did something different this time around. I did single leg lunges on the Smith machine. I actually started squatting again,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because being a track athlete, my legs will respond very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, then again, I'm trying to make sure that I still have that balance. And so with my shoulders, with my back, you know, I lift very heavy. I really don't do anything on my abs. I've just been blessed, you know, by running track for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of takes care of itself with the diet. But for my legs, I lift medium weight, around 15 to 20 reps.
Okay.
But for my upper body will lean out, as most women, a lot more quickly than my lower body. So I have to lift very, very heavy on my upper body.
Okay. Now, what body parts are you really focusing on in your upper body? Anything that responds less or better than others?
I'm fortunate. You know, I definitely focus on my delts because, again, I want to create that illusion, the V taper illusion. I work on my back to make sure that there's some depth, you know, in my back as well. I don't really work a lot on my arms a lot, my biceps and my triceps, but I do work them. Mm-hmm. I do work them. I work them maybe once or twice a week. So my rotation is typically, I try to work each body part twice a week, and that includes legs and back and delts.
Okay.
And some rotation.
Now you hit the two big shows. You did the Olympia and the first ever Arnold Classic Women's Physique. What's next on the agenda for 2015?
People always ask me that. You know, it's like as soon as I get off the stage,
next?
Everyone says, "What's next? What competition are you doing next?" Right. And you know what I always tell them? I don't know. I need a break. You know, I just want to kind of decompress for a minute, not think about anything, get back to normal life for a second, and then kind of look at my calendar and revamp everything. If I had to give you an answer in this moment, I would probably say I wouldn't do anything until the Olympia.
Okay.
Yep. Which is 6 months away.
So when you turned pro at the, was it 2010 at the Nationals?
2011.
2011. What did you do in 2012? What did you compete in 2012?
2012. Oh my goodness. I did the Tampa Pro.
Okay.
That was my pro debut.
How'd you do there?
There I placed 9th.
Okay.
So in my pro debut I placed 9th. And then from there I went to... I think I did the Houston Pro.
Okay.
Where I placed 2nd.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Yes. So I've kind of had, you know, honestly, a kind of an up and down pro career. I placed 9th and then 2nd and 9th and then 2nd. And then it wasn't until I actually, you know, went to the Olympia to where, you know, I'm thankful that my placement has been stabilized.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe it took the judges a while to figure out how they were going to do the women's physique. I remember it seemed like that was happening the first year, you know, where the placings were a little bit all over the place.
Right. Yeah, very true. You know, and really the thing in the sport is just to be consistent, you know.
Yeah.
Continue showing up, continue making improvements, you know, keep your face on the scene, be resilient, you know, and wait for your reward.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll definitely see you at the Olympia then in 2015.
I'll be at the Olympia.
Well, Tycie, it seems like everything's going your way. I mean, you got a runner-up at the Olympia, and now you're in the top 3 in the world, it seems like, because you repeated the placings with the Olympia and the Arnold Classic. So I think another year of training, and people are going to know who Tycie Coppett is, and you're going to really make some waves.
Thank you. I'm trying my best.
All right. Well, we wish you the best, and we thank you for joining us on the Florida Physique Report. Thanks for the great interview, and we'll be following your career this year in 2015.
Thank you, John. I appreciate the opportunity so much.
All right. Take care, Tycie.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody, thanks for joining us for the Florida Physique Report, episode number 25. Join us next week. We will be on Monday, March 16th, and we will have the contest report of the Renegade Classic, which is taking place this weekend in Tallahassee, Florida. And Dan Esslinger will be our guest, and he's going to join us and give us that contest report. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.